EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for December 16th, 2020. The day is finally upon us that we've been talking about for several weeks. That's right, weeks. We went back to the long-range outlooks for the storm signal. This is the one that has appeared and is going to bring a major winter storm to our region later today into early Thursday morning. I want to take a moment just to thank everyone that has reached out to me. I've had a lot of outpouring support on these videos and about how informative they are and how helpful they are. The comments do not go unnoticed. I got them on not just Facebook, but Twitter. We get a lot of that on both. I have my own personal account on Twitter that I kind of use to coincide and side with the business, since I represent the business, of course. And I see all the comments, and I appreciate all the comments. So thank you very much for all those kind words, especially over the last couple of days, as this has been a very troubling system as far as trying to figure out what's going to happen and where. Still a little bit of uncertainty, slightly, but not as much as we thought yesterday. Yesterday we were going through some windshield wiper effect with the models, which is, if you know what a windshield wiper does, it goes back and forth, back and forth. That's what the models were doing. They're starting to push northwest, and got everybody in a panic. And it started shifting southeast again last evening. So a little bit of an overcorrection northwest. That's typical within 24 hours. And they start backing back down to reality and go where they're supposed to be. So that's something that typically happens with these kinds of systems. So it's nothing to be alarmed about. We're going to have, if you have any changes to our map this morning, it is possible. I don't think we're changing the orientation as far as the axis of, the orientation northwest to southeast. It increases northwest the further you go. But we might be adjusting amounts a little bit, maybe a little higher in some of those areas we went down. So don't hold me to this, but maybe the Allentown area, the Lehigh Valley area, we have them down to a 10 to 15 locally higher possible. People freaked out about that. I don't know why. I mean, that's a ton of snow. But we might bump them back up to, say, like a 12 to 18 inch range. We'll see. Don't hold me to that, but there's a possibility we might increase a few ranges there. Unfortunately, the battle zone has always been around I-95, and I-95 is typically a battle zone in winter. This is not a surprise, especially in a December storm. It's very difficult because you have some very warm sea surface temperatures yet. They're still kind of hanging around 50 degrees. That's kind of warm. And if you get into January, these cool off a little bit. It's easier to get big snows into Philadelphia, South Jersey, Delaware at that point. It's a little early yet, so this is kind of following climatology in that respect, okay? Just so you understand how that works. But it's not always that way. I mean, we had some big storms in December here in Philadelphia. You remember 2009, 2010, they had some couple good years down there, and there were some December storms to deal with. The Boxing Day blizzard, and certain situations it can overcome, but this is not one of them. So we're going to move this forward. This is going to come in the afternoon today, so please pay attention to timing, because I know it's going to happen already. Sure as God made green apples, there's going to be people saying, hey, it's 12 o'clock, there's no snow yet. Well, they're not supposed to be, okay? So snow's going to come in between early and mid-afternoon, southwest and northeast, and then this low is really going to get cranking here near the Delmarva. And there's going to be some heavy snow, but there's going to be right in between there, just northwest of I-95. You're going to have a battle zone. We're going to have a changeover to sleet. We're expecting that changeover to occur, at least in southeast PA. That is what is holding down some of the totals. But you're starting off as snow, and then you're going to be turning back over to snow overnight, and you're going to get some accumulations on top of that. So it's kind of like a pancake theory. You're stacking the pancakes. You got the bottom layer of snow, then you got this sleet compacting on top. Then you're going to get several inches of snow on top of that. That's where you're getting your totals. And this is going to move off the eastern seaboard here by the time we get to Thursday morning and take the snow with it. So some leftover morning showers here, or snow showers possible, as this pulls away. So let's go over the NAM high-res future simulated radar. And I'm going to start this off at noon, okay? So we have in our southwestern area, south central Pennsylvania, just about coming to the Harrisburg area here at this point, and we have some snow showers working their way in. And this is just going to fill in north and east from here. So we get to mid-afternoon, it's snowing up further northeast, and maybe it gets up to late afternoon up in these areas in far northern New Jersey, far northeastern Pennsylvania. But the snow will become increasingly heavier as we get toward the evening. And you see southeast of I-95 here, you have just rain, okay? We're not expecting anything here other than rain. You might get a few flakes of the wet flakes at the end kind of mixing in. I don't think it really does anything. Maybe you get a coating somewhere if you're lucky, but these areas down here aren't going to fare too well. But if you notice, as this precipitation is coming in here, this is 21Z, so this is 4 p.m., and it's showing it snowing in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is right here, okay, right there. And it's showing snow. So it might start off briefly as snow there, but you're going to see all this down here. This is the mixing. It's going to move northeast, and you're going to see this these pinks show up here. The pink, or excuse me, I don't know what the color that it would call that. It's not really pink. Yeah, I guess it is. So this pinkish color here is representing sleet. And you can see from Lancaster, part of York County, going over into Chester, certainly, and then getting over to Montgomery and Bucks, you get this sleet moving in, and you see that this is a complete changeover. Further to the north, above that sleet, where it's still snow, it is heavy snow through the evening. It's going to get dangerously close to the Lehigh Valley, and it might change over, and I do think it changes over in Reading. It might get to Allentown. I'm not sure yet. It's very close. So we did allow for these areas that possibly mix with, or at least mix with sleet. I think you're going to have some mixing there occurring at some point during the evening, and this is looking at 9 p.m. So, you're going to have some mixing involved even there. So that's why we went down to 10 to 15, but we kept the locally higher amounts possible wording in there. If we do need to bump this up and we start seeing less of this coming into the Lehigh Valley, and this is going to be a trend in the overnight guidance, again, we might bump it up very slightly. Nothing crazy, but it might be some slight adjustments this morning or later this morning. We'll see how that works out. But you can see southeast of I-95 still getting hammered with rain, and Philadelphia is just straight sleet here and just pouring sleet. Now, sleet does accumulate and does count towards snow totals. I don't know if everybody knows that or not, but it does. So even though it's not piling up very fast, like snow would, because it's, the consistency is different, it's still accumulating. All right, so we got straight sleet here in Philadelphia, straight through late evening, and then were the areas that were in sleet for that short period of time up in these areas, even if it does get up into the Lehigh Valley, gets up here. Look what's happening. Cold air is now starting to come in at the mid-levels where it's warming and changing everything back over to heavy snow, indicated by the dark blue here. And then as we go through the night, that continues. Oh, it gets close again. And then it continues, and then it turns everything back over to snow, and Philadelphia goes over to heavy snow. So that's where you're going to get your snow mostly. You might have like an inch of snow or sleet combined, so just sleet for a while there, and then you're going to get snow on top of that. That's where you get your accumulations most likely. This is a deformation band. You might even have some thunder snow with some of this overnight. That's possible. So there's some slantwise convection shown on the soundings that is indicative of some what's called conditional symmetric instability. Nice way of saying thunder snow, and that could happen in some areas. And I know Jim Cantori is going to be in Allentown, so that'll be interesting to see if he sees any of that this time. But there are going to be several Weather Channel reporters up in this area reporting on this storm tomorrow, from what I understand. But this is going to end as snow. Look, it goes all the way to the coast here. The areas that were raining do end as snow here, so you could get a quick dusting here down the areas that were just rain for 95% of the event, and then it just pulls away here as snow showers early Thursday morning here. So all told, your highest accumulations here are going to be where we have it on our map here. Highest accumulations are going to be here, where you're going to see some. You're going to have some 2 feet amounts up here. In some places, they're going to have at least over 20 inches in a lot of these areas north of that line there. In the middle here, you're still getting a ton of snow, but you're going to have some battle zones a little bit south of that line. You're more like 6 to 10 plus. Just north of that line, or in between these lines here, you're looking at in this area here, Lehigh Valley, Berks, those areas. You're still looking at about a 10 to 15. But again, with a plus after that, could it go higher than that as well if the sleet is not working it as much as the models are indicating? And again, there's been a trend southeast that we had overnight with some of the guidance that I saw so far this evening. So it looks like they overcorrected. Sometimes the models do that. They overcorrect, and then they start backing down southeast a little bit. Not fully, but they come down some. So areas that were marginal are no longer marginal. So we'll see how that works out, to see if that trend continues. If it does, in fact, continue into Wednesday morning, of course, before the storm starts, and any changes we have to make to the map, we'll do that before the first snowflake falls, so it's ready for you and has the updated information. But that's what we're looking at for this storm. After this moves away, we're going to remain cold this entire week, mostly sunny here on Friday, and then we go to partly to mostly cloudy skies here on Saturday. But we should start off pretty sunny in the morning, I would think, here on Saturday, where we're going to remain temperatures right around freezing or maybe just barely above for highs. And then we get into Saturday night and Sunday, we have this front moving toward the region here. Could result in a few interior snow showers, just light snow showers, not a big deal. And that goes into Sunday morning, it looks like, and then just remaining mostly cloudy the rest of Sunday. So partly to mostly cloudy on Saturday. Snow showers possible late at night and Sunday morning in the interior, and then we go to partly cloudy skies after that once we get to Monday and Tuesday. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for December 16th, 2020. Have a great Wednesday and stay safe today.